Agile project management is a common practice now for so many teams. I want to give you 5 reasons that you should consider going Agile. I have got something for you. If you are running projects, then it is vital that you have a project plan that works. And in the description, you'll find a link to a project plan guide that I've created. It's absolutely free for you to download, and it will show you how to create a simple project plan that people will love to use, that's easy to update in only 9 simple steps. Now, Agile is a project management methodology that has its roots in software development. Nowadays, not only software companies typically only use Agile to advance their releases and to create their products and improve them, but increasingly we've got more and more teams in lots of different industries outside of software development using the Agile methodology to advance their projects. And this is because there's so many benefits with Agile. Now I'm going to talk to you about 5 reasons that you should think about adopting Agile and why it's so attractive to so many teams. Number 1, quick decisions. Agile at its core is a very fast-paced project management methodology. It involves the teams working to sprints or really short bouts of time to do something called releases. And this is when you push out your product or your service, whatever's ready at the end of that sprint, you push it out so that customers can start using it and getting feedback. Now, sprints tend to be really, really short, but in reality, you can make the sprints however long you want. They can be 2 weeks, they can be 10 weeks. Typically, the shorter, the better. And it's these short blocks of time that make Agile so quick in terms of the advancement of the work that you're doing. The decisions need to be really quick, and there's this fail fast mentality that really helps things advance at a faster pace. It forces you to not dilly-dally on decisions and think, oh, should we try that? Should we not try that? No, make a decision, test it out this sprint. If it doesn't work, then we can revert on it later on. This kind of way of working helps you to move at speed, and this is why we love it. Number 2, customer feedback. Because of the pace of the releases and that you can you can release every single sprint or every other sprint. Well, you should be really releasing every sprint. It depends on what you're doing. Every team is different. I've worked in teams that are releasing software products as well as teams that are releasing things like standards. So you can't push something out every single sprint for the customer to see. But back to the point. The second point that I'm talking about is customer feedback, and the quick deliveries allow us to get customer feedback more regularly. So if you're releasing an item or releasing a product or a service every single sprint, it might not be perfect, but for what has been completed, you can gather customer feedback on that. In the traditional ways of project management, a waterfall approach, this wasn't the case because the project literally has to be completely done before we can invite customer feedback. And that is risky because you can build something that is complete trash and only find out about it when the project is wrapped up. Whereas if you're working with an Agile methodology, you release after 2 weeks of working on something, you get some feedback that it's in the wrong direction, great, you can pivot because you haven't spent so much time, resources, honing in on that idea and making it a perfect trash idea that nobody wants to use or buy. So customer feedback, multiple touch points of customer feedback is what makes Agile so attractive. Number 3, linked to this point is progress over perfection. We are not trying to create the perfect thing before we can push it out to the world and get feedback on it. We're comfortable with getting beat up. Beat up by customer feedback. So if they don't like it, that's great. Being able to take that criticism and not have your ego damaged to the point of, oh my God, we look so rubbish now in front of our customers, is a great way to be pushing forward and advancing your product, because your customer will be happy with you making iterations constantly, knowing that you care about the product and you are trying to make it as best for them as possible. Your customers appreciate that. And in the software industry, this is expected and it's commonplace now. It's the expectation of the customer that the first release of an application might be terrible and there are going to be lots of bugs that need to be fixed, and they expect this. So when it comes to a new release that's announced, they can shed all of those preconceptions about the product because they understand that it is constantly evolving. This precedence is set with the customers for software. However, for other industries, it may be a bit more difficult because customers aren't used to this constant iteration and continuous improvement. When it comes to tangible products, we're used to things being perfect when we receive them. And for this reason, this is one of the reasons why sometimes you can't have a purely agile approach depending on which industry you're in and what you are producing and delivering. Sometimes you need a waterfall approach, sometimes you need an agile approach, and sometimes you need something in between. This act of progress over perfection is very entrepreneurial, and it makes you fast, it makes you quick, and it makes you adapt really quickly to the market needs and what the customers actually want. So pushing forward and not caring too much about delivering something that is absolutely pristine is a great way to become dominant in your field, because you're always on the edge of innovation. Number 4, linked to this, the previous point and the other previous point, is this situation of safe to fail environment. When it's safe to fail, we take more risks, we innovate. And this is important for staying at the cutting edge of your field. You have to be able to innovate, and to innovate, you have to have a culture where it's safe to fail. Agile allows for this because of the many releases that happen in the lifetime of a project. We might get it wrong last sprint, but this sprint we can do better. And we are measured on something totally different. We are measured on how much we can satisfy the customer and how close we're moving to what they actually want, not being measured in terms of how quick you can get the work done. A safe to fail environment also means that you attract top talent. Top talent want to grow, they want to expand, and they can only do this in an environment where it is safe to fail. And number 5, motivated employees. Your project team will be highly motivated when they're operating in an agile environment. And this is for people that enjoy the speed, enjoy the pace. It means that they are moving quickly and they're getting things done. For people who are very set on delivery, this is important to them. It also means that there's a high growth environment and a high performance environment, which high performing teams and individuals love. Top talents typically thrive in these environments, and so you'll be able to motivate your employees with exciting, ever-changing work that will push them forward. There is a limit to this. When things are constantly changing and there is no downtime, it can mean that people get burnt out quickly. Now, there are ways to circumvent this, and we'll go through all of that in another video. But this video was all about the 5 reasons that people are attracted to Agile and why they want to adopt it. If you found it interesting, let me know. Click the like button and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. It really helps the channel out. And with that, thank you so much for watching today, and I hope to see you in the next one.